example 4, okay, let's go ahead and find the general solution to the non-homogeneous equation. So again, there's 3 steps. So step 1 is let's find our general solution to the homogeneous equation. Okay, well we know that's just 3y double prime plus y prime minus 2y equals 0. And we're going to use the associated characteristic equation to help us find our roots. And so we know r is going to be equal to, again, y prime. So we have 3r squared plus r minus 2 equals 0. And this is just a quadratic equation, so we can go ahead and factor. We have our 2 binomials, right? There's no greatest common factor. And then 3r times r, right, is 3r squared. And then I want 2 times 1, but I want a plus 1r, so that's going to be minus plus, right? There's your negative 2r plus 3r gives you 1r. Again, if you FOIL this, you're going to get this polynomial. And this is pretty easy, right? 3r is going to go, well, let's just go ahead and write it out. It's pretty easy, but so we know this is going to be r equals negative 1, and this guy is going to be r equals 2/3. And again, if you want to just write the subscripts. And so our general solution to the homogeneous equation is C1e to the r1x plus C2e to the r2x, so that's just going to be negative x. Okay, so there's my first part. So check. And the next part is I want to find my y sub p, so let's construct y sub p. Again, solution to our non-homogeneous equation. Right, this is not the solution to the homogeneous equation with some given initial conditions, because we don't have initial conditions in this case. So construct. Well, what's a good construction? What's our f of x? Right, here's our function of x. And so notice it's a trig function. We have a constant times cosine x. So one of a first guess might be, okay, let's maybe let y sub p be a times cosine of x. But remember, we're going to have to take the derivative and the second derivative. And when we take the derivative of cosine, right, we get negative sine. And then if we take the derivative again, sine, cosine, so it just oscillates. So be careful and don't just write a cosine x. So let's go ahead and write everything I'm saying here. So so choose, right, or let y sub p, so a times cosine x. Okay, so be careful not to just, we don't want a cosine x. We're going to want to include sine of x in this expression. So we're going to maybe put plus b sine of x. So again, let's go ahead and find the derivative. So that's going to be, let's see, negative a sine x, and this is going to be plus b cosine x, and then we have yp double prime, and this is going to be negative a cosine x minus b sine x. Okay, so again, let's just substitute our y sub p back into our original equation. So our original equation, right, the non-homogeneous one was, let me just write it again, 3y double prime plus y prime minus 2y equals 2 times cosine of x. And let's just substitute these values or these functions. So we have 3 times this guy, so that's negative cosine x minus b sine x plus y prime, which is this guy. Well, I'll just go ahead and insert parentheses for now. Plus b, that should be cosine x. And then finally minus 2y. So 2y, so 2, and then we had a cosine x plus b sine x. And of course I write, whoops, really big. So let's go ahead and make this a little bit smaller. And then we finally have 2 cosine x. Okay, so let's simplify these terms a little bit, right? Distributive property. So we have, right, these guys. We have negative 3a cosine x minus 3b sine of x. Let me actually make my pencil a little bit thinner. And then here we're just having negative a sine of x plus b cosine of x. And we can distribute this negative 2. So we have negative 2a cosine x minus 2b sine of x, right? And all of that is equal to 2 cosine of x. So on the left-hand side, right, we have this big, this long expression in terms of with sines and cosines. We have some with x terms, some without x terms. So we want to put all our x terms together, right? Collect all the terms with the x, maybe with a cosine of x, and then all the terms with the sine of x. So let's see, we have, let's maybe color code here. Let's do, I don't know, let's do pink. Okay, whoops. So we have cosine of x is right there. There's another cosine of x, cosine of x. And so together I have, let's see, negative 3a plus b minus 2a cosine x, and maybe, oh, I don't know, this green we can do, and then our sine x's. So that's, let's see, maybe we'll do plus, and then we have negative 3b minus a minus 2b sine x, and again that's just equal to cosine x. So again collect your coefficients with the cosine x, and of course your coefficients with the sine of x. And this is, right, you can simplify a little bit. This is negative 2a, just kidding, not 2a. Oh, it's been a long day. Sorry. I need my second cup of coffee. Let me make this a little bit bigger. Okay, so I'm working with these guys. Okay, just simple algebra. Negative 3a minus 2a is negative 5a plus b cosine x. And again, some algebra, we have negative 5b minus a sine x. That's a minus a. And this is equal to 2 cosine x. Okay, so that was all algebra, right, with some trig functions. So now again, we want to equate the coefficients from on each side. So we have, notice on the right hand side of our equation, right, we only have cosine x. We don't have a sine of x here. So I mean, technically, this is really plus if you want to write, I don't know, there's 0 sine of x's, right? If that helps. Because then we can equate these two, right? Cosine of x, cosine of x. Okay, well, what are the coefficients? Well, this must equal this, right? If those are equal to each other, that implies that negative 5a plus b is equal to 2. And then again, our sine x, well, here's our sine x. So let's equate the coefficients. So we have negative b minus a equals, and there's 0 sine of x's. So I know to write 0. And here's our system of equations. This is just a system of linear equations, right, in 2 variables from algebra. So we can solve for a and b. We can maybe reorder this. You can do this again by substitution, elimination. You can use matrices. It's a 2 by 3. You don't need to use matrices. It's pretty easy. Let's go ahead and do, I'm just going to align my variables vertically. So my a's under a's and my b's with b's. Let's make sure I don't make a mistake here. So 2, and I'm just reordering these guys. And I can multiply, right, this guy by maybe negative 5. And if I do that, or the reason I want to do that is because I want to eliminate one of the variables. So negative 5a plus b equals 2, right? I'm just writing this guy again. And then I'm going to distribute this guy. So I have 5a, right, or plus 5a, plus 25b equals 0. And this is great because when I add them, I eliminate my a's. I get 26b equals 2. And 26 times what is 2? Well, must be a fraction. So 2/26, right? Or you can divide that by 2, or just do the prime factorization. And so we get, well, our b is 1/13. Okay, so if b is 1 over 13, well, we can find a by just substituting it back. So I'm going to choose, oh gosh, any equation. I'll just choose this one. Right, I'll substitute my b back in here. And again, you can use your preference, whatever your preference is to solve this linear system is up to you. Again, substitution, elimination, you want to use matrices. So minus 5a plus b equals 2. Negative 5a plus 1/13 equals 2. I'm just going to multiply everything by 13 because I can using the LCM. This is 1. 2 times 13 is 26. 13 times 5, 15, 65. So negative 65, a plus 1 equals 26. Whoops. I'm going to subtract that 1. That's a 5. Equals 25. So a is negative 25 over 65. Well, that's just 5 times 5, and then we know 65 is 5 times 13. So there's a big 1, so we're left with negative 5/13 for a. So we determined our, right, this is the method of undetermined coefficients. Well, here again, oops, here are our undetermined coefficients. So let's write our general solution, right? The most general solution that we can find to our non-homogeneous linear equation. So that's just going to be y equals yc plus yp. And I'm writing this quickly because I only have 30 seconds before it times me out. So e to the 2/3 x plus c2e to the negative x, right? This is from part 1. And plus a sine x, so there's your a, and there's our y sub p. So we have our final solution. Okay, and I have 2 seconds left, so I'm done.